Hello, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be interviewing John, who is a Northwestern University student, and he's currently pursuing the dual degree with a triple major. So let's get started. Okay, so please start off by telling us about yourself and your different majors.
Sure. So I'm John. I'm currently a fourth year in my 5-year dual degree program. I'm a Weinberg and Bienen dual degree, and my majors in Weinberg are math and MMSS and the Kellogg certificate. And my major in Bienen is piano performance.
And could you tell us what MMSS is?
Yeah, so MMSS is a special program that is about 50 per class, and it stands for Mathematical Methods in Social Sciences. And if you are admitted to the MMSS program, you usually pair your MMSS major with a social science such as like economics or sociology, or math and computer science have been popular alternatives as well.
And why did you choose your different majors?
So initially when I applied to Northwestern, I wanted to do a dual degree in economics and piano. I've been passionate about piano for a very long time, did many competitions in high school, and so I knew I wanted to pursue that in college. Additionally, I just absolutely love my AP economics class, and I just loved learning about the financial markets, so I thought that economics was a really good choice. Eventually, I learned about the MMSS program actually after applying to Northwestern. There's a separate application for seniors, so I decided to apply and shoot my shot, and I actually got in. And after reading about the program, I realized that it really appealed to the quantitative side that I have. After I entered college, though, I realized that economics wasn't really for me, and I was very much so more attracted to the quantitative and logical problem-solving nature of pure math. And so by the end of my freshman year, I switched from an economics major to a math major.
That's really awesome. So what does a normal quarter or class load look like for you?
Sure. So usually I would either take 3 classes in Weinberg and 2 in Bienen, or the reverse. And sometimes, I would do 4 in 1, but usually I would definitely do at least 1 in every school. So that being said, the typical student at Northwestern only takes 4 credits a quarter. However, I usually have to do 5, sometimes up to 5.5, because some Bienen classes are half credit. So it's a little bit more work than the typical student at Northwestern, but aggregating that through 5 years, it's actually not very bad.
And could you tell us what classes you're taking this quarter?
Yeah, so this quarter I'm taking statistical learning, an IMES class, an industrial engineering and management science class. I'm counting for my math major. I'm taking MMSS 311-2, which is also a statistical learning class. I'm taking the final class in the Kellogg certificate for financial economics, derivatives 2. I'm going to be auditing keyboard skills, which is a piano requirement. I'm also taking piano, which is a lesson, studio class, and a piano forum. I'm also taking intro to music technology, which satisfies the 20th, 21st century Bienen music elective credit.
Nice. And then how much free time would you say you have?
I would say that maybe an hour to 2 a day, I would say. I always characterize piano as my free time. Because I just absolutely love practicing and love playing. If considering that as free time, I guess I have a lot more free time than a lot of people think. So I would say a decent amount. The quarter system, I know that a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on how stressful it is and how fast it is. But I always say if you plan everything out and pace everything out, things always work out in the end. So I would say about an hour to 2 a day. During midterm season and also during recruitment season, however, that usually isn't the case, as I try to pile my free time with as much studying or doing practice exams as possible.
And then how useful do you think your triple major is? What do employers say when you tell them that you have a triple major in an interview per se?
Yeah, so most of the time they're fairly impressed, just kind of a wow. Or they're kind of taken aback, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. At least in some of the instances that I've encountered, because most of the companies that I've applied for have very technical interviews, so they really just care about kind of my hard skills at the moment instead of worrying about my triple major, I guess. So in practicality terms, like, I think my triple major is honestly just very personalized to me. I just absolutely love piano and I love music, and I'm willing to spend the extra year in college, and to take all of these classes and to just get the degree, and all while I'll be obviously learning more about classical music. So yeah.
And then another question people have is how much more expensive is it to triple major?
Yeah, sure. So this kind of ties back to what we talked about before about doing a triple or double major versus a dual degree. So it is possible to finish the dual degree in 4 years, although it's highly discouraged. If I did math and piano alone without MMSS, I definitely would have been able to finish the degree in 4 years. In that case, your financial aid or tuition is exactly the same. If you were to pursue the dual degree and finish it in 5 years, your fifth year tuition and financial aid should be basically identical to what you would pay in any of the given first 4 years you were in college. So
Yeah, and that's really nice because me, like not as a dual degree student, if I were to need an extra quarter, an extra year to finish my degree, I would not have that financial aid that would be matched from previous years, but for dual degree students it is.
right, it's because the expected like time a student would take to finish the dual degree would be 5 years. Like if I were to take an extra quarter, go into a sixth year, I would run into the same problem as most students would if they try to do a fifth year. So
Then how common is it for people to triple major?
yeah, so I think Northwestern has this model called "and is in our DNA."
Yeah,
So
I've
which,
heard of
yeah,
that.
which is like, there's some good and some bad to it. I would say that Northwestern double majoring is very common, especially like econ psych or like soc and psych, things like that are pretty common. Triple majors are definitely more rare, and yeah, I would say that like triples with duals is like even more rare than that, but I would say it's not like super uncommon, if that makes sense. So, and most people who do the Bienen-Weinberg dual have a double major, so they have like one major in Weinberg and one major in Bienen. So a triple is like fairly rare, I would say, but it's definitely not unheard of. So
Yeah, I would
yeah.
agree. I know a lot of double majors, but I think I only know one other triple major. And lastly, who would you suggest to get a triple major or dual degree?
Yeah, so there are a few types of people that I would recommend this to. The first is if you have a variety of interests, even if you can't really pair them together. For example, my interests are quantitative finance and piano. And I don't think I could I could really mesh those two together in a career. But they are both things that I just really wanted to pursue just for my own sake in college. And to those people, I would definitely recommend the dual degree. And in terms of triple majoring, there's a lot more combinations that are possible, I guess. Like there are people who do like MMSS and math and CS, for example, who really want that quantitative background, who want to really learn how to analyze data on a really high level. And at the end of the day, I feel like it's definitely a question of, do you want to dive really deeply into one field, or do you want to spread out your breadth into multiple? For example, in some instances, like I can just think of an example off the top of my head, like, in a lot of data science careers, they require a large breadth of knowledge, right? Some people would do like, let's say CS and bio and like the managerial analytics certificate. So they work at like a biotech company, and try to like work their way up into like sort of like a product facing role or something like that. And, I think that in those cases, having that interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary skill set is extremely helpful. But if you're someone that's trying to like, pursue like a PhD, or you're trying to go into a field that's like, kind of has like, I guess already a set path, or, doesn't really accommodate multiple majors in a sense, I would say that, concentrating on one thing and really, really getting good in that one specific discipline is the way to go. It really, really does depend on like a case by case basis, I would say. And I feel like there's definitely not a one size fits all kind of paradigm, if you will, for like in terms of like just, personal growth and also career development as well.
Yeah, I think that's some really great advice. So I just want to say thank you to John for being a part of this interview and answering all of my questions. And I hope you guys find this useful for anyone who's interested in double or triple majoring or pursuing the dual degree. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.